And we're back! Did you miss me? Of course you did. Why wouldn't you? You definitely know me. You definitely missed me. Don't lie. Anyway, we are back with some Apollo Justice. Yeah, let's just get right into it, right? Anyway. What's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant?
Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove...
No, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle.
I love the expressions in this game. Apollo just like so expressive, he's just the most like trans mask panic that I've ever seen in a character. I love him so much. Mr. Gavin! I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see.
Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court?
I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now.
Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something.
And what might that be, Mr. Gavin?
The night of the crime. Who was it that reported the murder to the police?
Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still that...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the 1st floor of the restaurant.
I see, and this is the phone that made the call.
Right cell phone added to the court record. The defendant could have just fled the crime scene if he chose so. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he's being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. Oh, I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client long enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious. I left all my toys at home in my Winston Payne's treasure box of toys. No one touches Optimus Payne.
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred? How could you possibly know this?
That's a good question. How indeed?
The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness.
Well, you're as good as they say you are.
So, someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Apollo, you're so good. This whole lawyer career is gonna go so well for you. Everything up until now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready?
Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand.
Oh, my dear.
The witness must state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
The idea that the judge just really thinks it's like a couple of dishes stacked. That's taking the witness stand. Oh, Judgey.
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking hordes.
So use a little hair gel, relax, people.
Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
You are sure?
I swear on my gavel. Please, come out.
Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure, it is okay.
Now the prosecution. Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witnesses' paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. These are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be...
My name is Olga Orly. I am employed as a waitress in Borscht Ball Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht, that is, naming a restaurant, but also perform as other service.
I take it one of those other services is taking the customers' pictures?
Like, for example, this one.
But that's the defendant?
Indeed. On the night of the murder.
Man in white hat is one who got kaput.
Indeed, that is the victim. Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
It is same way I drop cold balls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually.
I love this script so much. Oh, Olga.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence.
Olga's photo added to the court record.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in the room, the hideout, we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout?
This room where famous gangster bad guy
Was arrested. Oh, I love just dropping, like, into an Ace Attorney game again. Like, taking it seriously enough and then just coming across shit like this. Gangster bad guy. Oh, I love it so much. And it's kind of close to Badger as well, which I enjoy as an Ace Attorney fan. Okay.
is the room where murder took place.
What?
You look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want a copy of.
So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shadi Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, a witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means...
Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events.
Here we go, testimony, baby!
That night, customer asked me to deal card for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. The victim, he plays with whole hand on his locket at his neck. Then left hand is done, but something terrible has happened. A man flew at the victim and strangling him to death.
Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
That's ridiculous! Because Mr. Wright can't lose! Justice, maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection? But he hadn't lost in 7 years!
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
I'm just gonna get some water real quick because doing all these like very clear kind of characters, it's not great on the throat. Oh, guys, I got a big jug full of water. Oh, it's so good. You know, most people, I guess you could call them scrubs. They'll have like a glass of water. I have a 2.2 fucking canister of water that I love mostly because it means I just don't have to like get up to get water as much. And yeah, that's a fun little water-based fact for you.
Chips, you say?
Yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
I think he means poker face.
Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
Chip's photo added to the court record.
Very well. The defense will cross-examine the witness.
One second, folks. Cat is in front of the TV. I'm trying to just like coax my girlfriend into picking her up. There we go, Lucky. That's your good Bob. He just likes to get involved, have a little play. Don't you, monkey? That's my other cat, Lucky. Also, one sec. What were you looking for?
The laser pointer distractor.
It's here. There you go. You goober.
That night, customer asked me to deal card for game.
Let's press this. You were dealing cards. Do you do this often?
Da, I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. It is my work.
It's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service.
Fucking boomer.
Welcome you to Borscht Ball Club, where borscht is as warm as waitresses.
Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. Let's try that again. Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. It's already April. How could it be cold?
At the Borscht Ball Club, we have pride on authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme.
Authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme. Authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme. That's a fun thing.
Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always cold as Mother Russia.
No way am I going there.
When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning, da?
His locket?
I believe it was good luck charm, da? He gripped it many times as he played that night.
Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars.
I don't remember that line, Judgey. What are you talking about?
Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift.
Judgey, he hasn't got a rocket on his neck. What are you talking about? The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about, right? I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket?
Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket.
That's what she called it. Judgey, what goes on in your head? Do you think that Phoenix has a rocket wrapped around his neck? Oh, Judgey, he's like top 10 Ace Attorney characters. Like, Judgey is, he's up there. He's so up there. Oh, Judgey, I just want one day for you to take off to the courtroom skies like the rocket ship I know that you are, burning fast and true in the name of love and justice. That's what I want for you, Judgey. No, a locket's a locket! It doesn't matter what shit.
It's considered a bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society.
Hard of hearing? Or hard of understanding?
So, what happened next?
Something terrible? Is that... Oh, I'm getting all these voices mixed up.
The defense will refrain from needless shouting.
Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. And they say that Apollo isn't trans-mask. I'm sorry, explain this. Explain this, internet. You can't. You can't.
Now, Mr. Orley, can you tell us what happened?
Oh, I was so frightened. I trembled with fear.
But the defendant would never do such a thing!
Well, now I can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic.
If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me.
Still, why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker?
Perhaps it is because defendant has lost the game.
Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. So it always is with men's like him. Men's? With men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall.
Go ahead. I believe you know it is what you must do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shotty Smith, Mr. Wright, and... if Mr. Wright isn't the killer... I've got you now, Orley! Oh, really? Okay. His hand, look at the neck, something that was terrible. I'm strangling him to death. What do we got? Let's do a quick save-a-rooney. That's different from a regular save. A save-a-rooney is much more exotic. Okay. Let's go. What have we got? Used as a murder weapon. Objection! Well, fuck. Your Honor! What do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts the, I thought.
Don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Strangling him to death. What would... I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, is that not the same thing? Okay, whatever. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? Well, that's odd.
The normal customer only choke on borscht.
No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orley! Really now? Did you witness the crime?
Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
Yet it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit.
Crime photo 2 added to the court record.
But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck.
Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Oh, Apollo, you think you're being so clever. Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me.
Very well. It seems that we shall continue the cross-examination.
There's such a thing as thinking too much. The horse is dead. Let's start beating it. Is there such a thing as thinking aloud too much too? Alright, what do we got? Both player plays with hats on. Is this the new sentence? Yeah, let's go ahead and press. It's already April. Oh, okay. It's not. Let's skip. Skip. Hold hand with the locket. Who's neck? Do I have to? The victim plays the locket on his neck. Aha! What's that? What's that about then, Ollie? What have you got? Objection! You know, there was one curious part in the testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean?
Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about?
Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you would be able to handle this. But what does it mean?
If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death.
Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Oh.
Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say,
Yes?
I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you?
Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter.
Come again?
Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
With the small one in the robes?
No, that would be a bit creepy.
We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
Some story has a locket, too. Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? You open the locket and it's just a picture of a rocket ship with like a hat on it. That's what I imagine.
Well, now if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and defendant.
Okay, I think we're going to leave it off there. A little bit shorter episode this time, but you know, short and sweet. We like it that way, just like our boy Apollo. Alright, yeah, drop a like, share, subscribe, do all the good things. And yeah, stay gay. Love you all, thank you for being here. See you next time.